A year ago, the corner of my living room was a dumping ground for random crap that didn't have a home. There was an exercise ball here, some weights there, and this corner was prime real estate for whatever else needed to be put down. And then I did something crazy. I bought a small device that tracked my activity and sleep. It wasn't a magic wand that waved over my life and fixed everything, but it did make me aware of a few things. Like every day, I was spending hours sitting, like more than 10,000 steps was usually my max, and that sleeping in late made me feel sluggish all day. To be honest, I was disappointed in myself. I knew I was capable of more, but somewhere along the way I'd settled for less. After getting the device, I wanted to prove to myself that I could improve. So I set a goal to walk 15,000 steps a day. It seemed like a lot at first, but I figured if I spread them out through the day, it would be doable. That meant 3 or 4 walks of about 3,000 steps each, which turned out to be pretty easy to squeeze into my schedule. Now, a few months later, the corner of my living room looks like this. My yoga mat is rolled up neatly beside my couch. My adjustable dumbbells are in their rack, and my tablet stand is ready to go for following along with virtual classes. I've even got a water bottle and towel hanging on hooks beside the door. It's not perfect, but it's always ready for me to get in a workout. Here's what that space looked like when I first moved in. The first thing I did was rip off that hideous wallpaper and paint the walls a calming blue. Then I put together a little gym nook with some equipment I already had lying around, but honestly it felt a bit sad and random. Then I started working from home more often, and that couch became my default spot for every free moment, until finally I decided to do something about it. I decluttered the space, got rid of the things that didn't belong there, and found a home for the stuff that did. That made it easier to start taking care of the equipment I had here, because it was actually nice and I used it consistently. Once I got used to it, I added a few new pieces of equipment. This rowing machine was a great addition. I use it most days after work, and it's fun to see my progress over time. That's the thing about improving your habits and making progress. You want to see those changes reflected back at you. The mirror does just that. It shows you your workouts, your stats, and your progress over time. And it also makes you accountable. You can track your activity throughout the day, and it reminds you to move every hour. That helps me stay active during the workday. But it's not just about tracking your activity. It's also about understanding the why behind it. For example, I know that my phone has a negative impact on my mental health. It can feel like a black hole sometimes, sucking away my time and my attention. But with the help of the device, I'm able to monitor my screen time and manage my usage better. When I notice my phone is starting to take over, I take steps to reel it in. Like I might put it across the room while I am cooking or turn on airplane mode while I am having dinner with friends. These small changes may not seem like much, but they add up over time. And eventually, you start to see the bigger picture. Here's what my mornings look like now. I wake up early, but I don't hit snooze. Instead, I get up and immediately head to my studio to stretch for 10 minutes. It's not a full-on workout yet, but it's a good way to get my body moving and wake up slowly. Then I check my stats on the mirror and see how well I slept last night and how active I was the day before. If I didn't meet my goals, I'd figure out what went wrong and try to do better today. After I get ready for the day, I head out to walk my dog. It's a quick 20 minutes, but it gets me outside and moving. When I come back, I have breakfast and get ready for work. I usually have a few meetings in the morning, but after lunch, I take a break to get some fresh air. Sometimes I take a walk with my husband or I head out solo. It doesn't matter as long as I'm moving. In the evenings, I have another appointment with my studio. I love switching up my workouts, so I never get bored. Some days I follow along with a strength class, and other days I try something new like Pilates or yoga. My favorite part of the week is Saturday mornings when I get to sleep in and then join a class. With the studio, I can get a great workout in without ever leaving my home. That's really convenient since I'm usually busy on weekends. My routine has changed a lot since I first started working out at home. First, it was hard to find the motivation and discipline to stick to a workout schedule. But as the months passed, I found myself looking forward to my daily workouts. It's become an important part of my life. It's funny how a small device can have such a big impact on your life. I'll admit, I was skeptical when I first started using it. But it quickly became one of the best investments I've made in myself. The information it provides is so valuable, and it's helped me make positive changes that I know will benefit me for years to come. If you're thinking about getting one of these devices, I say go for it. It's a great way to learn more about yourself and your habits and make positive changes that will improve your overall health and well-being. But remember, the real journey isn't about buying the latest gadget. It's about learning how to keep stepping forward. One small change at a time. It's about finding joy in movement, embracing challenges, and celebrating progress. Let me tell you a story. A year ago, I was feeling pretty low. I was struggling with some personal issues, and to be honest, I felt like giving up. But then something unexpected happened. A friend of mine invited me to join her for a virtual yoga class. First, I was hesitant. I was very flexible, and I thought yoga was only for those who could do those crazy poses. But she insisted and promised that it would help me relax and distress. So I took her up on her offer, and I'm so glad I did. After that first class, I was hooked. I loved the challenge of trying to improve my flexibility and the feeling of accomplishment I got when I managed to hold a pose a little longer or try something new. But it wasn't just the physical benefits that drew me in. It was also the mental and emotional benefits. Yoga taught me how to focus on the present moment and let go of the worries and stress that were constantly swirling around in my head. As I progressed in my yoga journey, I realized that I was becoming more flexible not only in my body, but also in my mind. I was learning to bend and adapt to the twists and turns of life with a sense of calm and grace that I had never felt before. But yoga wasn't the only thing that helped me turn my life around. I also discovered the power of walking. At first, it was just a way to get some exercise, but soon I realized that the rhythmic stride and gentle breeze on my skin had a calming effect on me. Walking allowed me to process my thoughts and emotions in a healthy way, and it gave me the clarity and perspective I needed to tackle my challenges with a fresh outlook. It wasn't always easy. There were days when I felt like giving up and staying in bed instead of going to a class or walking outside. But I knew that if I didn't keep moving, both physically and mentally, I wouldn't be able to make the progress I wanted to. So I pushed through the tough times and focused on the positive changes that were happening in my life. As the months passed, I started to notice a shift in my mindset. I was more positive, more resilient, and more hopeful than I had been in a long time. I was still facing challenges, of course, but I was approaching them with a newfound sense of strength and determination. The yoga and walking had become an integral part of my life, and I knew that if I kept moving, I could keep improving. So if you're struggling and feeling like giving up, I urge you to try something new, whether it's yoga, walking, or anything else that gets you moving. You never know what positive changes it might bring into your life.